best thing about primary school is probably Mega because it's fun and everybody gets involved with it.
My message to the future Year 6s in 2017 would be order tuck shop before 8 a.m. because after that the site kind of shuts down. My favourite camp was King Yong because they had this huge swing, and the best thing about it, I get to go back there in grade 7.
My first friend at Bulimba was probably Ben Phillips because in prep I saw him sitting by himself, so I went over to play with him.
My first friend at primary school was Charlie Cogman because we were in the same football team and we always loved hanging out with each other.
I think the thing I'll miss most about primary school is playing loads of fun games and having a much lighter uniform.
I must say that my favourite dish is definitely our Don't Touch and Go program would be the pizzas. Because after we get to create the pizza base and what toppings we're going to put on them, we go down to the main environmental area and cook them. And while they're cooking and while we're eating, we get to have a lot of fun and talk, and it's just a really amazing experience.
My most memorable lie that I've told people was when I told my grade 4 teacher that I did my entire book of work. And my book of work was about 3 pages long. And so he didn't believe me. So when he went through my desk to find it, the whole desk fell over. And he didn't find it.
I think the teachers I've had as pieces of food would be Mr. Day is a sweet chew, Mr. Herman is pie, and Mr. Patrick is chocolate mud cake. You sweet the whole bunch.
My most memorable, embarrassing moment at Bulimba was when I spilled over a tub of honey and Sarah told me I had to lick it off the table, and I was there for like half an hour and it was really sweet, and now I don't enjoy honey.
The thing about Bulimba is that everyone pushes you for the best. Like, I remember Mr. Day at Candillon, he made me go to the top of the giant swing and then I either had to pull the trigger or just hang there for a long time. So it was really good that he did that.
The teacher who has given me the most support throughout Bulimba State School has been Miss Crowley. She's been supporting me through all my work and has convinced me to do my best in everything I do.
My first friends at Bulimba were Sophia Greenwood, Charlotte Henson and Charlotte May.
Our teachers would have to be food. Mr. Day would probably be spinach because of how he gets stuck in your teeth and makes you try really hard to get him out.
I reckon that this year's camp is the best because even though it wasn't worth the money you paid, it was really fun going mucking around in the cabins and the stuff that we found. And it was also alright observing what the outback is like.
My first memory of the school was when I first came to the school.
The best thing that I ever heard a teacher say at Bulimba State School was when a kid in my class asked to go get a drink of water and the teacher's response was no, water lubricates your throat so you can talk more.
If I had to give a tip to a 2017 student, it would be to not make a teacher angry. Trust me, I've been there.
When I was in prep, I wanted to be an astronaut, but now I want to be a game designer.
My favourite was grade 4
camp at Tangalooma because we got to friends with it.
My first best friend from Bulimba State School is Ruby Bush because we both moved from Morningside State School together.
If I had to give a piece of advice to a 2017 Year 6 student, it would be to take all opportunities and talk to people in camp that you wouldn't normally talk to.
My first best friend was Zoe Muir because we already knew each other from Parkway State School.
My advice to the Year 6 students of 2017 is to have fun with your friends and just enjoy everything in Year 6 because everyone's going their separate ways. So just have fun and just enjoy it.
The funniest thing that a teacher has said was when we were on the Outback trip and Miss Seibel sat all the girls down in our cabin and was talking about safety. And if anything were to happen, we weren't to worry about our phones or anything else. We were just to worry about ourselves. But then someone opened the door and we all screamed in shock. Miss Seibel grabbed her phone, got up and looked like she was about to run. It was just Mr. Day. Oops, wrong cabin, he said, and we all burst out laughing.
Lesson that I learned and will take to high school will be to trust my friends and always have hope within them. If my teachers were pieces of food, then Mrs. Crowley would be a blueberry muffin. Miss Seibel would be a bunch of grapes because some are sour, some are sweet, and she has a bunch of grapes hairstyle, and Mr. Day would be a lamb chop.
My favourite camp this year was probably
the Outback tour because I got to experience new things and travel to new places in Australia.
If I could repeat a grade, I'll choose prep because you don't have to do any work and you get to go home early.
If Mr. Day was a piece of food, I think it'd be a chicken kebab. Not because he's meaty, but because in Mega he reminds me of a chicken when he's running.
My first friend at Bulimba State School was Abigail because, I was playing blocks and she knocked mine over and I got upset, and then we just became friends.
My first friend at Bulimba State School was a boy called Callum. I'm not sure how we became friends because he beat me up on the first day of school. He pinched me, pulled my hair out, and he punched me in the privates.
First memory about Bulimba was that the uniform was like bright yellow and blue, so different from my old school.
My teachers are a piece of food. Mr. Day would be a piece of bubble gum because of the never-ending chew, like his never-ending enthusiasm.
The advice that I'd give future Year 6 students is to always take opportunities, otherwise you'll regret it when you're older.
If I could be a teacher in this school, I'd be Mr. Day because then I can play Mega.
The first time I came here is when I was getting ready to go to school. I was really excited but also nervous, and I remember I was half the size I am actually now, but it was a really great memory to still remember.
If I could repeat a grade, it would be Year 6 because of the camps and activities we did throughout the year. If my teacher, Miss Seibel, was a piece of fruit, she would be a pineapple because the sprout at the top of the pineapple resembles Miss Seibel's bun that she wears every day to make her look taller, as some of the students are taller than her. And the diamond-shaped patterns on the pineapple resemble Miss Seibel's different patterned shirts and pants that she wears every day. And every pineapple is different in size, shape, and taste, which resembles Miss Seibel's uniqueness.
My first ever friend at Bulimba was Alex. I met him at Love Street Park. We played Tiggy together and went rock climbing.
A lesson I learned at Bulimba that I'll take to high school is to be kind, selfless, and charitable. A lesson I've learnt that I'll take to high school is that to achieve something, it doesn't just require knowledge and intelligence, but also courage and perseverance.
My first memory at Bulimba State School was when we were getting ready for our first day of prep and my mum got a call for us to go to school early and we were going to get interviewed and have photos. We got there and we were too shy to talk, so we only went on the newspaper.
The nicest thing someone has ever done for me is when I lost my money at a school disco and 2 girls from my grade offered me theirs.
If I could change one rule of the school, I would get rid of homework or let students access YouTube.
My teachers were a piece of food. I think Miss Seibel would be a strawberry cheesecake with a little bit of whipped cream on the top because it's hard on the edge, but inside is really soft and creamy, kind of like Miss Seibel's personality. And the bit of whipped cream would be like that over-top bun that Miss Seibel has in her hair.
The teacher I'm most likely to be will be Mrs. Kelly because she's very amusing.
What is the funniest thing a teacher has said or done at Bulimba State School?
The funniest thing a teacher has said to me is Miss Walker in Year 5 with her doctor jokes.
If all the Year 6 teachers were food, Miss Crowley would be strawberries and cream, Mr. Day would be a banana, and Mrs. Seibel would be a vanilla latte.
My favourite camp was Candillon because the food was pretty good and we did lots of fun activities which really built up your confidence.
If I had to repeat a grade, I'd repeat prep because we did the least amount of work and we made a lot of new friends.
I'm waiting for them. Have you ever borrowed something from a teacher and not given it back?
I've borrowed about 30 pencils and I haven't given those back.
I think the best thing about primary school is getting to be with friends because you know you can't always be with them.
My favourite dish was pizza because you could try other people's pizza and there was loads of variety in the flavours.
The camp that was my favourite was the Outback tour because I get to see my siblings for a long amount of time, and we went snorkeling and I didn't have to do work for a long amount of time.
What is your favourite dish you cooked at SAPGP and why?
It would probably have to be pizza because there was a wide variety of foods and meats and we got to try everyone else's.
If your teachers were pieces of food, what would they be?
Miss Crowley would be mashed potato because of her hair. Mr. Day would be lamb chops because he's strong. And Mrs. Seibel would be a coffee bean because of her addiction for coffee.
Hi, I'm Olivia.
I'm Jaden.
Yeah.
Woo!
Probably the most embarrassing moment at Bulimba State School, I still remember to this day. I was running for house captain and my legs couldn't stop shaking of how nervous I was. And I still remember the photographer, Amber Hicks, taking photos of my legs because every time she slid through the photos, my legs would shake. And so I had to keep kicking my legs out. And,
If Mrs. Corrali was a fruit, she'd be an apple because she's a typical teacher.
I've gone through about 17 pairs of shoes since prep and they're all been Adidas and Nike.
My favourite camp would have to be the Outback Explorer trip because there were a lot of amazing sing-alongs on the bus trips and I made plenty of new friendships.
So the first memory that I probably ever had at the school was probably me and my grandma were walking down to our classroom, my prep classroom, and Isabella and her mum were walking to the same one. And we weren't quite sure where it was, so Isabella's mum helped us go there. And then Isabella was trying to read my name tag, but she couldn't read it, so she kind of pronounced my name wrong. It was really funny. If I could give any advice to my younger self, I would say enjoy it more and take as many risks as you can. The most embarrassing moment I've had at Bulimba is at the Reef and Beef camp. I dropped my phone in the toilet, and so how it happened is I put my phone on top of the flush button, and because the seat was open, it just fell into the toilet, and I didn't think twice. I was freaking out, so I just picked my phone out of the toilet, and I was shaking it and wiping it. I was freaking out, and then I came out of the bathroom, and somehow everyone knew, and I was like, how do they know? And they were asking me questions and stuff, so it was really embarrassing.
My first friend was Isabella. So what happened?
The thing I would most miss about primary school is probably Mega because you can rage quit on people and it's a really fun game.
If I could go back in time, I would tell myself the answers to every test so I can get A's.
Advice I would give to Year 6 students of 2017 is to try their best and make the most of everything.
The best thing and the thing I miss most at Bulimba is probably the Year 6 Outback Camp, Wet and Wild, and Mega.
My first memory at Bulimba State School was on my first day with a girl named Abby, and she came up to me and said, "Hi, my name is Abby and I sit over there," and we're still friends today.
In prep I wanted to be a vet, but now I want to be a champion barrel racer.
If I could repeat a grade, it would probably be prep because we basically did nothing and just mucked around.
When I was in prep, I didn't know what I wanted to be, but now I want to be a photographer.
If you could be one teacher at the school, who would you be?
If I could be any teacher at the school, I'd be Mr. Herman, just to see what it's like.
Who was your first friend at the school? My first friend at the school was Hannah Paterno. We met on our street and we're still friends now.
I think the thing that I'll miss most next year are probably my friends, since we're all going to different schools and we won't see each other as much.
If you could repeat a grade, what grade would it be?
I think it'll be prep because it's just like being at home and you don't have to do work.
If I got to be a teacher, I would be Miss Crowley. I would be Miss Crowley because she's really fun and extremely nice. Also, she's really funny and she makes me laugh all the time, even when no one's laughing. And also because she's my teacher and because I'll miss her, that's why.
The advice that I'd give my younger self would be live every day like you'll die tomorrow. Learn as you'll live forever. And whatever happens, you'll be okay.
When do I start?
Yeah, wait.